Hey, what's up guys? Jordan, Haunted Outdoors here. Behind me, we've got some arrows and broadheads. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to dive into 3 different types of Afflictor broadheads and kind of go over the differences and why I like them so much and why I can't make up my mind as to which one I want to use in the upcoming season. So we're going to dive into that, and you guys got to help me out to figure out which one I should use. So basically to dive into what I like about each one and how they're a little bit different from one another and why I can't make up my mind. So the first one here, this is the K2 Hybrid. This is probably their bread and butter. I'm pretty sure it was the original that they came out with. It's listed as a hybrid, but it's a mechanical. I mean, it's got this big beefy tip, which makes it classified as part fixed blade, I guess. But how this works is it's a rear deploying broadhead. It's got this drive key system on these leader blades. So when it hits a deer, hits your target, this little rubber band will either pop or slide down the arrow and kicks out these big old blades. That is an 1 3/4 cut. Show you that again. So it hits these leader blades, and as I push down, these pop out. Pretty smooth, all right? So, I mean, they go pretty smooth up and down. So one thing I really liked about these broadheads when I first looked into them is the fact that once they're deployed, these things stay out. They don't fall limp like a lot of the other mechanicals on the market, that when those other mechanicals stop going forward, those blades, you know, go limp and they don't have any cutting capability anymore. So these will stay open, so if you don't get a pass-through shot, these are going to stay in the deer, keep on cutting. So that's huge. If they're not going to go back forward until you slide that those drive key bleeder blades forward. So I'm going to put that back up. Another cool thing about these is, if you've ever shot mechanicals before, a lot of the broadheads in the market will come with a test or practice tip that's similar looking to their broadheads, but it's not the same thing. So with these, you can use any of your actual broadheads as practice tips. All you got to do, you see this hole right here in the ferrule, right there in the middle, okay? There is a plastic peg, and what you do, it comes with a few of them in each package here, but it's a plastic little peg that goes into that hole. I don't know if you can see it. There you go, right there. And I'm going to do that off screen, otherwise I'm going to fumble and look like an idiot, so bear with me for 1 second. I'm going to put that peg right into the ferrule opening there. Perfect. All right, there we go. So it is in there. You know, I push that in with like an Allen wrench, but I'm trying to go quick here. But what that does is stops that drive key from being able to move, and it will not deploy the blades. That does 2 things. So if you want to shoot this thing at a target, it's not going to dull your blades at all, and it's not going to rip up your target that you're shooting. So it's going to keep it just like this. Now, to be honest, these things fly just like field tips, but just to be safe, you should always shoot your field or your broadheads that you're going to be hunting with, and make sure you're sure they're flying where they should before you shoot an animal. But I mean, these things are going to fly just like your field tips, but you have that capability with any of their hybrid broadheads to put that little plastic peg in there, and boom, you've got a field tip. Now, just remember to take that bad boy out before you go hunting, because you'd be in big trouble unless you make a perfect shot. You want those blades to deploy, so pop that thing out before you go hunting with it. All right, very similar to that, we have the RAS Hybrid, which is the Red Arrow Signature Series with Kip Campbell. Big fan of him, cool guy, funny as hell. But similar broadhead, it is a hybrid, same drive key system, same cut. It's still got the 1 3/4, as you can see there between the two. The only difference that I've come to find is got a different tip. Now, Afflictor calls the K2 Hybrid, it has a K2 tip. This one has what's called their EXT tip on it, which is a little bit elongated, and it's got more of a swept back angle as opposed to a little bit, I would call it a steeper angle. It depends on how you want to look at the angle, but this is a little bit more swept back. I view it as something that might get a little bit more penetration. I don't know, but when you deploy it, it's the exact same. So you'll see there it kind of goes with a swept back and then juts out just like the K2. So that's the only difference. A little bit different tip. Still has all the same capabilities, works the same way, and you can put that plastic peg in there. But I like the idea of, you know, that K2 versus, you know, EXT tip. That EXT tip looks like it might be something that'd be better at working through bone if you get unfortunate and make a bad shot. I don't know. That might just be in my head. They all work. Next in line is a fixed blade. Now, I believe last year was the first year that Afflictor came out with fixed blades, and these things are mean. All right, they look very similar. It's got, this one is the EXT, the Fixed EXT. So it's got that EXT tip, except this swept black angle continues onto the blades. Okay, this has an 1.25 inch cut, so it's pretty standard when you're looking at fixed blades. But it also, rather than having that drive key system with those bleeder blades, you're gonna get beefed up and super sharp bleeder blades that I think are 11/16. Let me double check here. Yeah, 11/16. So between the main blades and those bleeder blades, you've got a lot of cutting surface. Now, I'm a huge fan of shooting fixed blades, even though I haven't shot many deer with them. And the reason is I've struggled in the past with tuning my bow. When you have a tuned bow, these things are going to shoot right with your field tips, right with your mechanicals, right with your hybrids all day long. So I've shot these things up to 50 yards, and I will put a comment or a picture in the comments that shows how close these things are hitting to my field tip. So if you're getting some swimmy results with your fixed blades when you're shooting them, if you're not very educated on how to tune your bow, bring it into a shop and have them paper tune it, broadhead tune it if they're nice enough to do that for you and let you beat up some targets. But these things, I mean, they're fail proof. I mean, a lot of these things are fail proof in a sense, but there's moving parts. If you want to go with something that's tried and true, fixed blades are the way to go. I mean, there's no beating them when it comes to penetration because they're a little bit, smaller cutting diameter, but these blades are also a little bit thicker than on the hybrids. Now, just a couple days ago, or might have been just yesterday when this thing comes out, we posted a video of Nicole shooting a monster 166 inch buck with the K2 hybrids, and she hit that thing a little high. The thing ducked the arrow, hit it in the spine, but dropped him right over with that mechanical. So they're tough. So you can't go wrong with these. And to give you an idea, I'm obsessed with them, and I have no idea what broadhead to choose. So if you could help me out in the comments, let me know which one you think I should use, or if there's one you'd like to see in action. I plan on shooting a doe in the first week of the season, hopefully the first day. So if there's one of these three that you'd really like to see, a blood trail, entry, hopefully exit wound as well, let me know. Shoot me an opinion in the comments, and I'd love to listen to you. I am so indecisive at this point. I'm so excited to try all three, but I can't shoot three at one time. So I got to pick one. So help me out. Let us know if you have any questions. There's obviously more options that Afflictor offers. These are just three. So check out afflictorbroadheads.com if you want to look and browse their entire inventory. But shoot us a question, and if we don't know the answer, we've got great contacts there in Afflictor, and we will get you your answer. So help me out. Which one should I shoot, guys? All right, take care.